Let's go live. Holy moly, the Jin Air fans are so loud. It's different from this vantage point, isn't it? Usually in the control room, but when you're close to one side and they're loud, the Gen G fans especially, guilty of being loud, can be interesting. We have player names disabled at the moment, which is interesting, but it is Jin Air on the red, SANDBOX on the blue.
Fell asleep.
Jonah Strong is, of course, our resident observer. We've named him before, but sometimes I disagree with him, so I just don't use his name. That's what I do. Take that, Jonah Strong.
He's like the devil's advocate of LCK. He's like always saying no for no reason.
You know, he is a bit like the devil's advocate of the LCKs. The names are on! That's what we want. Give us those nameplates. Give us game 2. SANDBOX on a late invade. They're trying to spot if Jin Air are trying to re-invade for a very early take. It's not going to happen. Karthus, you know, he's been 3 buffs. He's been having a pretty good start recently. Kellin's runes, he's gone for the runes that tilted bot lane 80 carries for a long time. The reason why I say that, G-Sun, is they hit the hook, they hit the skill shot there. They're going to hit the Q, and that actually draws a flash out. That means Sona no flash in the bot lane, and
Turret dive.
And exactly, and Tompkins doesn't have Devour at level 1, so this Sona's 300 health and doesn't have much of an ability to approach the lane. So you can actually, as Jin Air, go for a very extended freeze here, and like you mentioned, bring in a jungler and just see what happens under turret.
So Malrang is actually very near. Do you see any possible turret dive here?
I mean, it's going to be a possibility, but on the riskier side, Joker smartly walks up and gets the news that Malrang is here. He's going to steal away a bit of the camp. I don't believe enough to prevent it being a 3-camp level 3, and the final little Krug will die. Doesn't actually stay to deny the turret. It will go down. You have no control as level 2. When you make a play like that, the moment the binding hit, Ghost Flash was down, they have to give it up. So things going to be slower on getting that quest in to allow the Sona to farm. On the top side, Lindarang's just trying to walk up and get CS, but you can tell what he's expecting from the lane. He's gone cloth armor and 4 pots. He's trying to weather a storm.
Oh.
Kind of all you can do. We saw it from the Akali in our first game against Jace, where it's like, well, if I go Doran's shield, I actually might not be able to get through this lane, so I got to go further and go into that cloth armor and build it into something later. We do see Malrang coming back at level 3 when the minion wave had gotten there, but the turret dive obviously on the trickier side, so he'll back away. Kind of want to be where OnFleek isn't. You can do damage, you can gank. The problem is if the enemy jungler is waiting for you, that's where Karthus can get blown up quickly.
I was actually watching the POV stream of OnFleek for game number 1.
What did you take from it?
He has a very good mechanic.
Obviously. I mean, I'm up there. I'm an OnFleek and Summit fanboy, Jason. Don't worry. Lei Wei's coming. One more. Not going to find the final Lei Wei's. They're forcing Joker out of lane. You never want to use your teleport before you have 450 gold because you can't even update your support item here. But no Frostfang timing. Ghost is being greedy. Notice that Xinjiao's not saying, all right, I'll come help you. And that means that Ghost, sorry, no luck. 2 turret plates, and if you leave Jinx with free time, she doesn't even need attack speed items to get those turret plates.
I guess this is the worst scenario for Sona and Hong Kong.
Oh yeah, it's up there, G-Sun. But, good news, just about found enough gold for the Frostfang. It's not going to bail out the Sona by any means, but it's a small sliver of hope. As apparently Malrang decided he doesn't want to explore top side. He's going bot side every time. He's got a full clear because he was able to get enemy red side jungle on his own blue. He's back again. If anyone wants to walk up, he's going to be spotted. And he actually exited the brush. Don't know about that one, mate, but he did it anyway. I think they know he's here. What do you think? Do they know Karthus here or no?
They pinged, actually.
Well, there you go. See, I think he was actually, his model was out. Xinjiao could come in and kill him, so Malrang needs to decide things quickly. Walking once again. If he even chunks people out, it's big. OnFleek present, spotted in a ward, control ward, being cleared. We see 3v3. I give the 3v SANDBOX. They're putting the TP as well. Root has to run away here. Charge onto Kellin. He flashes already. Dove has a lot of damage. Doesn't have a lot of CC, but I think Malrang's done. He stuck around for too long. He's going to accept his fate. He goes down, and Jin Air, they forced it too hard, G-Sun. It seemed like everyone knew, both teams, the crowd, everyone knew it was forcing a bit too hard, and now the Karthus is down.
Even I could read it as a magazine, like, it was too obvious.
Of course you can. You're a colorcaster today, G-Sun. You know everything about League of Legends.
Yes, I do.
And this top lane, it's Summit versus Lindarang. So already the nameplate's like, oh, Summit's really good and Lindarang struggled, but the matchup also making it harder. We saw Karthus come like 1 second out of the brush, and it seems like everyone else saw it. Sadly, the replays caught that one. TP comes in. Dub can afford to do this watching in mid lane. It's not like Azir was getting a lot of turret plates or anything, so this wasn't going to be super costly. And getting the kill on Karthus, only good news story is Karthus didn't flash, but he did die. Wave clear, wave clear, wave clear in mid. Jin Air, our worry was, lanes look a bit brittle on the top side. What might happen there? That hasn't been how this game has gone. You can tell bot side's going. Kellin's just ganking junglers at this point.
Flash forward.
Q misses, by half a Teemo. Autos might do it. Anything hits on Big, he dies. They don't get it, and Dub's feeling frisky. He walks up and says, get the hell away from my jungler, but that one was close.
That was so close.
Super close, and nice to see that little moment because Jin Air were the one that took the losses in that earlier trade with the TP. Summit is just the scariest Crocodile. Crocodile Dundee had nothing on this guy. Summit walks up, but Lindarang, Summit takes a bad trade. Now he's actually hightailing. He has no jungler to back him up. Dominus is popped. It's just a trade of ultimates. Watch as the Rage Bar goes up. This can still be won by the Renekton, and Lindarang gets the mail. It arrived late. He had to send his tracking number to the post office, but eventually he learns he should back away. So what are you taking away here? I mean, we kind of came in with the expectation. Jin Air don't know about the early game, need to get through that. We didn't expect the bot side focus, but a lot of that was the flash at level 1. So far the lanes are going okay. As Summit dives in, press the attack proc. You're starting to see the big damage. Your eyes get wide. You can see why Renekton is so favored, but we know that eventually Aatrox runs into a team fight. He's kind of a god if one kill comes in. The Renekton really has to get it done in lane, and right now 20 CS is a good start, but they need more. They kind of need kills to put it over the line.
Yeah, I have this image that Renekton has, like, people in Korea, people call it some champions like Renekton, or I don't
Caitlin?
know, maybe. No, not like, there's some champions that are really strong in early phase, but it gets weaker. We call it like, those champions have expiration date.
Well, the expiration date might be hit right now. There's a lot of people close to dying, but Grace teleport doesn't find a kill. Lindarang gets out. Only Summoner blown. A lot of aggression. Like to see that from SANDBOX. They don't get a kill from it, though. They back away. TP is drawn. And this is pretty big. In Korea, we've seen the turrets for the Sona and Tahm Kench go down very, very late. Geez, we've seen 7 minutes. Sona getting the 500 gold from her quest, whereas in other regions, I think we saw a 22-minute Rip Rival. So it can go way worse, but I feel almost like I'm lying or talking about something people don't see, because in Korea, almost every time the Sona Kench got through lane, this is one of those rare times where the Sona lost the flash, they got the turret. That's a lot of immediate gold going into Root and Kellin. And now the problem is, if Sona can't find someone to poke with her Q, that quest could take a long, long time to reach 500 gold.
Maybe another nightmare of like 20-minute no quest Sona
Oh,
show up.
I don't want to think about that nightmare, G-Sun. Jin Air already have nightmares. What happens when you have nightmares and there's more? That doesn't sound good.
Well, Lux is wearing a pajama.
I would like to think she's ready for a slumber party and not a nightmare party, but
okay.
I see where your brain goes on your birthday. Cool story. Anyway, getting back to the wave clear, Sona now has to come to a lane, and it's even in an awkward spot. If Sona wants to come in here and poke, she's all the way on the enemy side. Her flash is up, but
Too risky, right?
yeah, it does feel on the riskier side. It's probably best to just have Joker wait and try to kind of freeze the wave as close to the turret as they can get away with. We haven't clicked on Sona. You can tell from the icon. Yeah, exactly. The shape of the icon next to the tier. The quest hasn't been cashed in yet. So 9 minutes in, Viper would have had this 3 minutes ago, which, you know, that is Griffin versus Jin Air, but is something to point out. Ghost, will she? Oh, finally won. Boom. There's a little bit of gold, but been denied for the majority of it. We come through here. What's your Sona skin? Because I actually gravitate towards this cool kind of sci-fi Sona skin. I'm not a DJ Sona man.
I don't think I have ever played Sona.
Because you're not a support player at all. From what I
did
understand,
play some
I've heard your
support.
reputation as 80 carry is your big role.
I am a decent AD carry, that's true.
What's your 80 carry, champ?
Azrael, Lucian, Kai'Sa.
Oh wow, so you just play the meta. Wow.
Catching up with LCK.
Damn. Well, you watch the pros do it, and you say, I can do it too, and I hear you're pretty good at the League of Legends. That's what the word on the street is. You can confirm or deny, or you can keep it to yourself. We always tell the fan about how we're wood fired over here, so we're always super honest. Jin Air, this is a cool move from them. They're walking over, they're taking Rift Herald, and Xin Zhao, no man's land to pick this up. Another early Rift Herald side, and the hooting and hollering from the small but loyal Jin Air side is big. They want to jam down this Rift Herald and deny away Ghost from picking up any more gold.
So what's your guess for the completion of her quest?
I'm feeling 16 minutes, but I've had no even spoilers. I never saw one number, so I actually have very little context. It's actually done. I told a lie. 11 minutes, not so bad. Binding lands, a bit of round of damage. This is kind of the life of Tahm Kench against Lux, against range champions. You live based on how much chunk you take rather than if you're going to take damage. So, walks up, able to do fine things. We're just farming in the top side, which now Ghost can go for the CS. He doesn't have to be overextending, so he actually doesn't care as much about the minion wave is. Good news for the Sona. Good news for the people who will back up the Sona. The game goes on. Malrang still looking for that spot. When do you drop the Rift Herald? Everyone knows pre-14. That's the meta right now. Do we jam it now? Do we not? They don't have forward vision. They put down the Rift Herald, and we'll see what the defense is. So the minion wave crashes. Let's see who's coming. Grace, we're RSVPing for a party. Feels like G-Sun's birthday party. On the top side, Grace is already there. Most people are there. Aatrox can TP in.
Another plate? Oh.
Yeah, the third plate, I believe, was claimed. Not sure for the gold was confirmed from it, but that is 3 plates
Jinx
down.
did pick it up.
That's good news. If Jinx is getting it, that's happy time. And look at Jinx in this lane. This has been the week 4 style, is don't go Executioner's Calling, go Cull and try to farm next to the Sona, and then if you win that fight at 20, you know, before the Sona comp really gets there, like 28 to 30, maybe it's fine. So the Cull cashed in, so turret plates in. Root is feeling cashed up. Maybe it's his birthday today, we're not to know. But that's
Birthday
some good
friends.
Birthday friends, exactly. We already mentioned on cast, but Rusty, the LPL, now OPL caster, it's his birthday today.
Really?
So we do have one.
Happy birthday to him.
There you go. Happy birthday to Rusty. Another League of Legends personality whose birthday is today. I don't even know what day of the month it is. I'm just kind of a, am I casting or not? 28. Wow, you know your birthday date. Look at that. CG son, you just know everything. Fountain of knowledge here. On the right side of the casting stage.
Oh,
stage
IE
left.
completed.
IE is completed. And you know what happens with the Jinx? She doesn't care as much about the Zeal because she naturally gets up to, I believe, 130% attack speed if she's staying in the minigun form. So the first kill comes in, she runs faster than you. She definitely does more damage than you. The Kench, I believe, jumped off the bench to steal away the scuttle there. Nice little moment. SANDBOX take down the Cloud Drake as well.
Joker always stealing some good objectives.
Yeah. He's going to take a bit of damage here, but this will take a while. Malrang understands. He's almost never using your Karthus ult against a Tahm Kench. Also, since we had Karthus earlier today, we like to check in on the stopwatches. One for Sona, one for Tahm Kench. I caught the other ones. No one else has it. Trust me, I'm on this. I've been a play-by-play for upwards of 20 minutes on this broadcast. Joker taking a lot of free damage.
Can they take another one? Oh.
The answer right now is yes. I heard Dongjun, one of our Korean casters, lose his mind about that plate. He's hyped. And look at this difference. So we put it together, about 7,500 gold for the duo lane to, at the moment, 9,700 gold. There's so much extra gold between Root and Kellin, and it's all funneled, not from a funnel comp, but just put together onto Root with all the turret plates he has. I feel like that play from Jin is a pretty low range. We do see Grace. He's going to have to use the Emperor's. I don't think he's going to get him out. Next auto will kill him. Flash auto. Rocket is going to be stasised away. And Dove says, well, good sir, tip of the hat to you. I'm not going to get that kill. That one was close, but no cigar to Dove. What are you seeing here? This pretty big number, right? 9 turret plates put together by Jin Air. And scarier thing is, I believe at least 8 of those are going to be picked up by Root, maybe all 9. So he's picked up a lot of the gold. What's the biggest number you've seen? Because you're watching from the spectator booth very much. What's the highest you? I think we've seen 12 in terms of
12?
15 is the maximum turret plays going to be taken. I've seen 12. Do you remember a number bigger than 12?
No, not really.
Well, 9 if they're all on one person is obviously pretty damn cool. So that's what we're feeling, we're seeing.
And how much is that in gold? Like,
well, 1440, I believe, was the amount put there on
for
the screen.
Jinx only.
I would say she probably picked up about 11 to 1200. Some of it was shared because your duo lane partner will pick it up. Speaking of picking it up, duo lane partner Kellin going to pick up the outer top lane turret. Summit kind of just been farming. We'll actually play with expectation a bit because we kind of talked before about why no Renekton's in Korea. If you just farm as Renekton and show up at a fight, almost any enemy top laner you'd prefer in a 5v5, and Aatrox falls into that. But do remember, the Sona when she Qs, we know how much damage it does. Those Viper highlights give me terrors. Those are the nightmares I have. It also means that the aura applies to other auto attackers. They do magic damage based on AP, more damage. When you have the over 50% rage on the Renekton, which is most of the time in a fight because you get passively from your ultimate, you apply that instantly because it counts as 3 auto attacks. So that can be just like 800 damage between the base ability and those on hits instantly as the game goes on. So it actually means that Renekton goes from being kind of sucky team fighter to more than decent, especially if Corki is going to be doing the big damage. Kind of our takeaway there, but we're back to farming. This is LCK, G-Sun. We have a lot of farming.
I know Alice calls it as a lull state, am I right?
The lull state, yeah. He's a big fan. I think that if there was a flag in the lull state, it'd be one of his emotes. I think that's what it would be. I used to use, you know, the game has fallen into a bit of a lull, but the lull state does have a kind of nice ring to it. We had a new one on broadcast today. So, you know how we have Fiesta for the crazy games with a lot of kills? The word siesta is, of course, about taking that sleep. But the kind of cool little pun I came up with, I know Koreans love puns, some people are probably cringing, is siesta. C-S-T-A.
Oh,
because
I like
everyone's
that.
just farming, right? But it also sounds like siesta. I got the G-Sun birthday seal of approval. You're a good co-caster. You might have hated that, but you make it sound good, and you're a Korean. You love puns. That's how it goes.
I put in so much effort to like translate all the match points before games, you know?
Well, now there's a new one. Don't tell the Koreans about it. We'll have it on every single pre-game overlay. It's an English cast exclusive, all right, over here.
Cool.
Jin Air, you know, today they've been deciding to ARAM a lot. They come to the mid lane. They're not really too fancying the Renekton and the side. They just want to take down a turret. Now, this does mean that SANDBOX have less places to catch them, so it's safer. But it also means that Sona's kind of getting farm at the same time as Jinx. And that can be a problem. That can be a problem for the side of Jin Air, is that if you give Sona enough farm and then you put down all the extra wards and you get a Baron because you can heal and kill people for days and lose, it's kind of like you had all the options, but you chose the one that hurt you more than it helped. So we're looking for Jin Air to achieve something somewhere, and we're not seeing it right now.
But Jin Air did take down a lot of turrets in the early phase, so I think they did make a good setup to kind of counter Sona Tomkench, but...
You're so nice, G-Sun. You know what I'm always asking here? What have you done lately? What did you do in the last 2 minutes? I didn't see any turret plays in the last 2 minutes. Those turret plays were 4 minutes ago, G-Sun. What have you done lately is what we're always asking the pro games. And lately, they've tried to, put together their powers to make some sort of Optimus Prime, Big Doll Power Ranger thing going on over here. I know I just butchered multiple franchises. You have to accept it. Special delivery into the backline. Grace is split. No flash up, as we know from before. He'll back away. What does this get, SANDBOX? It gets positioning on the Cloud Drake. But we're just waiting to see, does Jin Air want to fight? Kellin is so squishy, walks up, gonna be charged onto. The is real. Dived on, Kellin dies. There could be more here for SANDBOX. Jin Air do get away, but their support is down, their control is down. We're not at Baron time just yet. You won't lose Baron for this. Summit walks up, he does get the stun onto Lindarang. He runs away now. Jin Air grouped for a while, ever since those turret plays. What have you done lately? Unfortunately, it's lose their mid lane turret and lose their support. Watch and see if they can finish off here. It feels greedy, but it's 4v5. They fall away because the turret goes down. G-Sun, I think you might have been front row for what feels like your first throw, where Jin Air had a good lead. It wasn't going to be a game-winning lead, but it felt like it was going to be Jin Air's decision. Is this going to be an angry Tomkench? The answer is no. But Jin Air held all the cards. They were the dealer, and it was on SANDBOX who were picking up the cards. For a blackjack analogy, it does feel like they dealt, but they didn't take anything. and then you make a mistake. If you're going to go summon an Airy Lux, again, this was the build you went when you wanted to kill people as support Lux, and everyone hated support Lux at the time because it just goes too squishy. You're ultra squishy in this build. You're not getting out if you get any sort of poke. The poke comes down, the flash is down, the heal is down. Has Jin Air's time in the sun gone away as well? That mid lane turret, it's alive, but it's living on a prayer. Watching here. Definitely stop me if you catch anything here, G-Sun, because right now, not a lot is happening. We're farming. Usually if this is Valdez and I, we're talking about teamfight tactics or some crazy stuff, because... I
haven't been able to play it yet, so...
You just work too damn hard, G-Sun. Well, we'll find time. We'll find time. The game is young. The Koreans are still mad, because it hasn't even been released in Korea just yet.
I know, right?
Thankfully, we're the English broadcast. They're not listening to this one, so we get to talk about it. I'm sure the Koreans are just like, don't mention teamfight tactics, but don't worry, we're talking about it. I see you out there getting the double spatula in the start of the game. I see you, and I don't like you. But I do like to see this Sona pushing up, poking around. They just want this turret because the moment you get mid lane turret, your Baron becomes safer, your wards go down deeper. The binding hits, but it's like a gust of wind. I don't even see the health bar go down. I don't even know if great health was required. Mid lane turret goes down, and Jin Air, who had a lot of gold before G-Sun, it's actually SANDBOX Gaming that have the gold lead. Exactly, you're concerned. I am too.
I am.
You should be concerned. This is a bad sign, because what happens when the gold lead comes in is SANDBOX already have more wards. So they put down wards on the Baron, and then we already know Lux isn't going to be walking up to clear those wards, G-Sun. Everyone's squishy on their side, so they've got to kill someone out of nowhere to get any wards down.
Someone out?
Yeah, they have to catch someone out. Otherwise, the Baron dies. The game maybe is lost from there. I feel like I already know the future of what this game looks like, and I'm worried for Jin Air. They do have a couple of options. The cool thing about Lux is, before when we had these range supports against like assassins, think like Ari from Faker at Season 3 Worlds, killing people who are squishy like Lux. Back in those days, the supports just died. As, OnFleek gonna dive in. Malrang pretty squishy on his own. Taking a lot of damage here. Ult invested, but they can't boss him out. Oh my goodness gracious! That is gonna be the ult over the wall. The crescendo is there. There isn't any time for dancing, because Malrang just straight up dies. No flash, no life. That's the enemy smite down. What do we get from there? First, we're gonna focus on the bot side, as Summit's trades against Lindarang aren't what they used to be. But there's another one of those squishy members walking up, G-Sun, and they die fast.
Oh, my thoughts on Sona is that it's really unfair.
I agree.
The mechanics, I mean, like, you just press 4 buttons.
You just said the mechanics, which I feel like already is more than it deserves.
I mean, I know, right? You just, like, press buttons and, like, you just chunk down all the enemies. That doesn't really make sense.
So our mean-spirited thing on the English broadcast is gameplay. You understand, obviously, the word gameplay. And usually when someone makes it big, like, wow, what great gameplay. We call this gameplay because, I mean, there's no gameplay. That was also a rocket, by the way. They did a lot of the damage there. But, yeah, we ironically call it gameplay because what is the counterplay? At the moment the Q leaves her accordion, there is no counterplay. You just die. Counterplay is dying. And this Sona is looking pretty strong. Went for the budget build, you'll notice. A lot of Korean Sonas were criticized for not going Lich Bane second item, because it means your damage is a lot lower. But the Athenes and the fact that Ghost was behind kind of makes sense that he went for a bit more of a budget build. Does mean he sustains for days, which can be big. On screen, Summit starting to trade. It seems like we haven't got part where Summit can get a solo kill. It's going to get stasis out of Lindarang. Ult from Tomken's going to be interrupted. Joker's in between 3 people. Can they turn on him? They don't know OnFleek is near. Win between lightning. Going to disengage them from it. Joker had his ultimate interrupted. He doesn't get to come in and kill off the Aatrox, but that stasis gone. Ult gone. A lot of tools used by Lindarang. Ghost and Joker push through happily through mid lane. They're now the best of friends. They had a bad start to their relationship, but it's definitely gotten better in this game number 2. And now SANDBOX still haven't started that Baron, but when I'm looking at a Sona comp, I look at the river and I say, where are the control wards on the Sona comp? And right now, they control the river, which means Jin Air, squishy members, have got to get near something like the Ocean Drake. They're not going to. Not worth it for the Ocean Drake. Got to do the same thing over Baron. Coming back to a previous point, Lux can throw out her E from pretty far. She can ult. Both of those reveal. When those cooldowns are down, they're out of things. That's when Jin Air starts to panic. Bum, bum here, and we're seeing some big item completions. Get to look at the gold leads. What catches your eye here, G-Sun, in terms of the gold leads?
Quirky got the
bounty.
bounty.
Yeah, got the bounty. That means 650 gold when he dies. He's also got 2,800 gold over his opponent. That's a rapid fire cannon. That's a full item. You know, it's not quite Infinity Edge. It's not far. So concerning. Small concern there. I also do the same thing. Whenever I see gold leads like that, my eyes get super wide because we've all gone to lane in a real game and the enemy had 2,800 gold more than us, and we know how much it hurts. And I feel like soon, Race will find out too.
I suddenly feel like Karthus hasn't used his ultimate yet.
You know, I think you're right. And Peanut,
how many stacks does he have right now?
probably not many stacks
like
of Dark Harvest.
5, 6?
You know, I think you're doing that glass half full thing you like to do. I think it's more 2, 3. This is the Kindred.
I remember he got one against Sona.
This is the Kindred where you look at their stacks like, it must be 4 now, and it's 1. You're like, uh-oh, on that one. So, yeah, I'm not optimistic there. But, yeah, Peanut was criticized because it was a very bloodless game, and he didn't get to use ult till, I believe, 34 minutes, maybe 38 minutes. The fact that we're kind of looking at that number is not encouraging, and people don't really know who to criticize. Is that Malrang's fault? Is that the team's fault? I know, in my opinion, Karthus ult is kind of a team thing, but you need to set up the pick. So you don't pick Karthus if your team doesn't know how to play around it. The fact that you can hit Qs is nice, but your team needs to know, hey, start some action over here. I can help from over here with my ultimate. So it's kind of both, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I have to agree as well.
Well, I will hope the teams agree to some action. I want to show you some explosive action like this game did indicate, but unfortunately for now, Jin Air pulling back. Kind of always been the way. I'm sure you know this. You've been around LCK for years. You don't look to Jin Air to make the action. You know, you look to Jin Air to continue the game, and if you decide you don't want to fight, Jin Air's happy to be there at 60 minutes, 70 minutes. They're famous for their long games, so we're kind of waiting on SANDBOX to make the action. Feels like Baron kind of has to be the place.
But in the first place, Jin Air got the kind of the counter competition for Sona Tompkins and like Corki, the scaling mid champion. So I believe they like maybe it could have been better if they just like open more fights in the early phase. They can still like Karthus can stack up his like the harvest. Yeah,
and that's kind of what we always talk about in these scenarios. But the moment they fell behind a little bit, they got lost, right? They got a bit confused, and I think you and I are kind of in the same spot where we haven't seen the action. OnFleek's diving in. Goes, takes poke, but of course is Sona. Straight on to Kellin's going to kill this Lux. She almost dies instantly, won't burn down for the challenging smite. We're watching this fight will continue and reset if we're going to stop here. Kellin Summoner's down again. That rocket might have killed the Lux on the back end. He needs to be careful. There's vision here, potentially. Control ward goes down. Jin Air want to protect. They're in a turret. Will they be able to? Kellin just walks in the front line. Instantly popped in the front line. Rude gets excited though because the Crocodile dies as well. There is that Karthus ult we've been waiting for. Ghost isn't tanky, but Dove does a lot of damage in the front line. Flash in from Lindarang, won't finish the kill. 1 for 1 because the Dominus was never popped by the Renekton.
Is it a good pickup for Jin Air or?
I mean, given where the game was, I think even when you're behind is always better for the team that was behind. So I definitely think it's a good mistake. Good pickup from Jin Air. It shows they have damage. Some overrate his tankiness. Red buff going to go to Root, exactly where you'd want it to go. So things still good. Things still good. Touch wood. That's one of your things at home. We don't have wood around here. We only have this desk, which who knows what it's made of, to be honest.
Plastic?
Probably plastic. Rita, please. On our plastic desk, we're waiting to jump up and cheer. And a Baron would be a place for action. We're on the Baron, spotted by the final spot that does give vision. Malrang walking up, but look at all those extra wards that Sona and her quest provides. They know exactly where Jin are, but now they don't. Control ward is down. What is going to happen here? Malrang has already stolen today. Flashes in. Who's in top bench of all people? Well, the unsealed spellbook will pick up the Baron for SANDBOX. Karthus dies to begin this. It's now 5v4. Jin Air, they want to oversee. They don't want to allow SANDBOX to reset and move up with this Baron, but they can't chase. They don't have the chase, G-Sun. And that just means that SANDBOX get the kill. They get out. And sadly, for the side of Jin Air, they get nothing. We're going to see the Abyssal Voyage used to try to push up the wave as well. There's no time to breathe for Jin Air and SANDBOX Gaming. Eyes were closed. The sleep was there. The slumber has ended. The slumber party, sadly, that Lux didn't get invited to. see that expression, and I think the Jin Air fans around us are going to be very similar. The Drake is now going to be free. The push is now going to be free because those Baron minions are going to push up. There's only so much SANDBOX will have to deal with. You know, Kellin, every time he goes near a fight, feels like he gets instantly targeted by OnFleek. No skill shots required on that dash from the Xinjiao. Here is the Sona poke. 3 items in. It's a utility build. This just means who's the biggest winner? Well, the people that get the utility. That's this Corki and Xinjiao, who now have Ardent Sensor and also the means a Holy Grail. A lot of poke onto Joker, backing away. Gonna have to pop that gray health. Is there anything Jin Air can do? Can you see any way back in here on this siege? Well,
Not yet.
You know, we usually try to lie a little bit, but I think you're right. I think right now they're really running out of options here. 2 waves being pushed in. A lot of damage from Dove and OnFleek. 500 movement speed, our observer Jonah Strong points out to. Summit pushes through the mid side here. Can Jin Air try a force? When do you fight? Because if you let all your inhibitors go down, there's probably no way in. Summit will go into melee range, stun up Lindarang. He gets away.
Maybe if they let like double CCs on SANDBOX players.
That would be the dream. But the thing is, also needs to be away from the Tahm Kench player, right? Because he doesn't worry about CC at all. Speaking of CC, it's going to be damage. And in the mid lane, Grace trying to hold on. Sun Tart down. Grace taking a lot of damage, but trying to buy time. If they dive, it kind of has to be OnFleek or Summit, but Summit died last time he tried to get into melee range of the enemy. However, it's all a cunning ruse. Bot lane inner turret goes down. We're not breaking the base on the first Baron, but look at that gold total on the top right, G-Sun. Almost 5,000 gold.
And they still have like a minute to like utilize their Baron buff.
Yeah, that's about a wave and a half, this wave, and then the next one will come in. OnFleek in melee range, he's got a Xinjiao and Jin Air just see a low health. They try to run at it. They look for a red dot. They don't find it, and that distracts them from the mid lane inhibitor going down. We're playing musical chairs, and I don't think Jin Air is going to get to sit down in this one. They're going to be upstanding before too long. A lot of poke goes down. Oh, he's going to go wide. Yep, I grimace a little bit too. Pajama Party Luck's not going to be able to find any damage here. That is going to be the max rage crescendo, but not enough damage from just one ability. He needs to use Q in order to get the kill. 2 inhibitors down. They're trying to see if they can just end the game on this push.
I mean, they have Sona, they can keep healing up and... Uh-oh.
Exactly, the uh-oh is there. Xinjiao dives in, ults, and now he's invulnerable. No one in range except Lindarang. Comes up from Guardian Angel, goes down. This could be the moment. Flash onto Malrang, and Sona support. No. Just carry is this Sona. No damage at all, really, from that Karthus ult. Feels like we get more damage coming out from the Sona. Heals through it. They're trying to end the game. Death time is pretty long. Malrang 30 seconds. 35 coming in from the Aatrox. Summit comes in. That's 1 Nexus turret down. No minion wave. Can they end it? They're trying to brute force. Exactly. Minion wave on the way. Wave clear comes in. Can they buy time? I don't know for Jin Air, but this is the last Nexus. This is all they have to defend. In comes the engage. They actually get it onto OnFleek, which Stace's going to buy time. Grace dies. Not even a 1-for-1 because Tahm Kench gonna pick up the Devour. Summit continues to brawl. SANDBOX in, SANDBOX out. Do-si-do. Crescendo goes wide, but Summit flashes in. They're gonna get another kill. It's onto the AD carry, who needs to be alive to keep this game going. Nexus goes down. Game will end. The GG call is there from the Korean cast. We give it the polite clap. Jin Air, we're in that good spot for a long time.